Hi, welcome to another episode of MPT Outdoors. I'm your host Glenn. And today I'm going to show you how I have started setting up my Rainfly and Hammock using Mule tape. I use a continuous ridgeline loop kind of technique. And so I'm going to show you how that works. Mule tape is amazing stuff. This is the most narrow version of mule tape, and it's got a 1,000-pound tensile strength, which is just outrageously strong. Much stronger than I need, but it's very, very light and has almost no stretch. And when I have camped in the past, the snow and rain, they've weighed down the paracord, which does stretch. And so my Rainfly starts up here when I set it up and ends up down here by the end of the evening. And so with mule tape, I don't have that problem so much. It does stretch a little, but not as much as paracord. That's one of the reasons I like it. All I've done here is knotted a bowline and a stopper knot at the end there, because mule tape is extremely slick. It's very, very slippery, which is nice. It has advantages because of that slipperiness, but it also has some disadvantages. Knots can come untied very easily. So if you're going to do a bowline, I recommend putting a stopper knot at the end. And what we're going to do, we're going to attach my carabiner here, and we're going to loop this around the tree just above head height, carry it to about here, and wrap it around once just to hold it in place. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is, I have a lot more mule tape than I need. I'm going to wrap this around, again, a little over head height, a bit over head height really, and come to about here, I guess. Wrap this around a couple of times, maybe 3 times. Slide that wrapping to the end. Got a little bit of slack here. Do the same here. Again, really just to hold it in place while I go get the top. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take one of my corners and I'm just going to take out that one loop that was holding it in place and attach that right there. And that's that. And then here at the other end, where I looped it around a couple of times to hold it in place, I'm just going to take out one loop there. And again, attach my carabiner there to that loop. Like I said, I have a lot of mule tape here. I got this all at a local thrift store. There's bundles of it. And I'm like, that's good stuff. I'm going to grab that. Now what I can do is start pulling this and tightening it up as far as I want to. I'm going to take it right there for right now. Go to the other end and tighten it up on that end. Now this is essentially my anchor point. I'm going to bring this all the way up to here. So now what I've got is just one loop around this carabiner, and I'm going to tighten this up, just pulling this. And basically what I've got now is one big long pulley here and at that end as well. And let's say I need it more this way. Okay, pull it that way. Get it snugged up. And then I'm going to tie a slippery half hitch in here. Hold that steady. Okay. Where this really comes into its best use is when you've got trees that are very far apart, because you can then slide your Rainfly back and forth so you can get it exactly where you want it between the two trees. In this case, these trees are just barely further apart than the width of my Rainfly when it's diagonal. So as you can see, I've got a little distance here, and I want to use that distance up by making this tighter, but this is right here. I'm stuck, right? No, because all I need to do is just slide this along. Because remember, this is one big long pulley at this point. It's one continuous loop between the ridge line and the Rainfly and the ridge line. I've got one big loop. I can move it snugged up to one end or the other as much as I like. Now, with that end snugged up to that tree, I'm going to tighten this up some more. I can get really tight. I'm just going to put my finger in there to keep it from pulling too much away from the other tree. And I can get this really snug. And again, a slippery half hitch in there. Now, as I said, mule tape is very, very slippery. It's very slick. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a random stick and in that slippery half hitch, I'm going to put it in that loop, pull it tight so that slippery half hitch can't come undone. And now I've got a nice tight ridge line that I know is not going to droop on me during the night. Alright, so now it's time to set up the hammock. Now, my hammock straps are made with the idea that I'm going to go around really big trees, because normally that's the case. So I've got these whopping great straps, but today I've got tiny little trees, so these are going to have to go around the trees a few times. Now, if you're going to wrap your straps around the tree more than once, you want to make sure you don't have them bunched up or binding anywhere. You want them nice and flat against the tree so that the tree bark isn't damaged. Now, I'm going to take my mule tape here and I'm just going to feed it through these two loops of the straps. Go to about here, and I'm just going to tie a knot there just to hold in place, and it'll come undone very, very easily. This is mule tape, slick as heck, knots pull out very, very easily. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Just like on the other side, I'm going to go through these two loops. And again, I have a lot of mule tape here. And I'll tie a knot right about here just to hold it in place. Just do a slippery half hitch, just to hold that in place for right now. I forgot to mention, and I apologize for any confusion this might have caused, but you want to have a bow line on this end you started with. And that is what is going to attach to your hammock. You're going to put it on the ridge line, and you're going to put it through that bow line you've tied. And now we're going to go to the other end. Okay, at this end, we're going to just untie that. It's our leading line there. Make sure it stays in those loops. Attach it to the ridge line like so, and feed your leading line through the carabiner. Wrap around there twice so that when you pull it tight, it kind of cinches down on itself. Now we can pull it as tight as we want. And because it's the same situation as the tarp here, we can move this hammock back and forth however we want. Let me show you. It's too far that way, not enough this way. No problem. I'll just pull it along this way and there it slides. Because remember, again, it's one big, huge loop around the anchor point of the straps. And so I can move this however far along I want underneath the tarp and then cinch it up as tight as I want to when I'm done. So let's just put it about there. That looks good. And what we're going to do here, we're going to cinch this up nice and tight. There we go. Wrap it around there one more time, I think, and tie a slippery half hitch. And again, I don't want that coming out, so I'm just going to take a random piece of wood off the ground here, pull that in tight so it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so now we have got our hammock set up about correctly here, kind of chair height, maybe a little bit high, but that's okay. Nice tight ridge line and 1,000-pound tensile strength mule line. Pretty good. So, what do you think of my Rainfly and hammock setup? Put your thoughts, comments, questions, criticisms down below in the comment section. And no matter how you set up your Rainfly or your hammock, I hope you've got it set up the way you like it and you have a great time camping outdoors. See you out there.